Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday. It is packet day 24. This is our last day of packet work for this week. So I'm just going to go over what we are doing today so you can kind of get an idea of the directions and understand what your work is. And I will also show you what you're going to be submitting me today. In reading and writing, we are doing something super fun. We are doing some poetry. April is actually National Poetry Month, so we always like to do something fun with poetry in April. So we were excited that you got to do this work at home too. So you're going to be actually looking at a poem by Shel Silverstein and drawing a picture that you think would go along with it. And then you're actually going to have a chance to write your own poem. Okay, so here is the Shel Silverstein poem. It's called Point of View, just like we've been working on, right? Perspective, or somebody's kind of opinion based on where they're coming from. I'll read you the poem so that way you have it, and then you can go back and read it on your own and draw a picture. Point of View by Shel Silverstein. Thanksgiving dinner's sad and thankless. Christmas dinner's dark and blue. When you stop and try to see it from the turkey's point of view. Sunday dinner isn't sunny. Easter feasts are just bad luck when you see it from the viewpoint of a chicken or a duck. Oh, how I once loved tuna salad, pork and lobsters, lamb chops too, till I stopped and looked at dinner from the dinner's point of view. Okay, so think about how you might want to use the rest of this page to draw an illustration. It's almost like you're the illustrator for a book that includes this poem. Okay, so you'll draw a picture, kind of a fun start to the day, almost like a free draw Friday. Then you're going to actually have a chance to write your own poem. You're writing a specific kind of poem today. You're writing a haiku. Okay, so a haiku is a Japanese form of poetry. It's a very short poem, but it's actually hard to write because you have to use the right amount of syllables in all 3 lines. And it gives you the guidance here about what a haiku looks like, so you can always go and read that. So it has 3 lines. The first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and the last line, the third line, has 5 syllables. That always has to be the case for a haiku. Your title can have whatever it wants. Okay, so it gives you a space to kind of brainstorm, to think about your topic, and then write words related to your topic. And you're going to have to really clap out those syllables to make sure that you're using the right number of syllables, right? So if you were doing Jefferson, Jefferson, right? It's got those 3 separate syllables, okay? So figure out what words you want to use. You can even write how many syllables they have next to them, so that way you can see how it works. So let's check their poem. Spring is in the air. Makes sense, right? 5 syllables, each have 1 vowel in it, right? Perfect. Okay, let's look at this one. Flowers are blooming sky high. 7 syllables, right? 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Let's look at the last one. It says it has 5 syllables. Let's check it. Children, 2, are 3, laughing, 4, 5 syllables, right? So you're going to write your own haiku poem. Okay, so do some brainstorming here, and then you'll write your poem, you'll give it a title, and then you'll write the actual poem. They give you the 3 lines for the 3 lines. Remember, all haikus have 3 lines, and then you're going to draw an illustration to go with it. This is actually the work that you're going to share with me today. I'm going to figure out a way to make a cool kind of virtual bulletin board so that way we can see everybody's poems and illustrations. So definitely send this to me today as a picture. Some of you have been sending pictures of you with your work, which is awesome, but for this one, I just want a close-up of your work so that way I can put it together in some kind of way. I'm going to use a couple tools online to be able to make almost like a bulletin board online that you guys can check out everyone's different haiku poems. Okay, so send this to me today so that way I can do that and share it with you on Monday. The science work or math work for today, Math work for today is looking at a ruler. Now, a ruler is basically a number line, right? It has numbers on it. There's an equal amount of space between each one, okay? So you're going to put the fraction that's listed here on the ruler, okay? Now, the thing that's kind of tricky with this is that it's not quite what you would imagine. It actually gets into equivalent fractions a little bit. So we haven't talked a ton about that. We did a little bit with some comparisons. So you're going to have to really know some of those to be able to do it. So for example, 4.5 inches, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got to the whole number 4, because we know 4.5 is going to be between 4 and 5, right? Because it gets all the way to 4, and then it's more than 4, but not quite 5. So we go to 4, and then you have to figure out there's not just 2 equal parts between 4 and 5, right? You can see there's a lot of little lines that show you parts. On a ruler, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts between each number. When you measure on a ruler, it only goes down to 1/8 of an inch, okay? So for this one, you have to figure out what's halfway between 4 and 5, right? So I know that 4/8 is actually 1/2. And so remember, you have your fraction strips. If you made those last week, you can use those as a tool to be able to help you figure this out. So if you have those fraction strips, or you can use that resource online, the digital fraction strips, to be able to show this problem to yourself, it might make your life a little bit easier. So you could say, okay, I know that it's a half, right? Because it's 4.5. And then I know that my ruler has 8s. So let me see how many 8s I need to be able to get up to a half. Remember, I said my 8s are not cut out super well, but they're close enough. Okay, so then I can see that it took me 4/8 to be able to make 1/2. So then I know I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4/8, which is going to put me in the middle. Okay, now a trick for you: in between each of the whole numbers, the longest line, right? The whole numbers have the longest one. The next longest line is always going to be the half. So see how there's one line in the middle of each one? That's just a little bit longer. That line is always going to be the half. Now the quarters also have the next longest line, right? So these ones that are still a little bit longer are going to be your quarters. See, this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, right? Those are your fourths, okay? Then the tiniest lines here are going to be your 8s. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8, which is the whole, okay? So you'll be able to go through here and figure out what is the fraction on the number line, okay? You can use the tip about these lines that the longest one is a half, the next longest one is a quarter or a fourth, and then the shortest line is an 1/8, or you can use your fraction strips to show you the equivalent fraction. So that way you can figure out where you're going to be drawing 5 3/4, even though it doesn't say 3/4 on here. Okay, so that's your math for today. You have a few different rulers and a few different fractions to do. There's 2 pages of it that you'll be doing. Okay. It says share your work with a partner. You do not have to share your work with a partner. And then what other fractions do you know? You can just pick a fraction and put it on the ruler if you have extra time at the end of doing this, which I think most of you probably will. Okay. So these ones, you are going to be doing the same kind of thing, right? You're going to be marking this on here. Okay. So you'll have those 2 ruler pages. Then that's it for me for today. You are, for science, going to be building a metamorphosis model. Okay, so this is over here. It tells you the way to divide and create your life cycle. So you're going to be looking at that work from yesterday to help you. You're going to be figuring out what you need to do to create a metamorphosis model. If you don't have all of these materials at home, that's okay. Just do your best, right? It's just to show that you were able to see those different sections of the life cycle. Okay, so if you have just a piece of paper and a pencil, you can do that. However, you can best show that. Okay, after that, you're really all set. You have some artwork and some gym work for your specials. For your specials work, friends, a lot of you have been sending me pictures of what you're doing. We really want the specialists to be able to see that work, so you can send it right to them if you want. You can send it to them by email. You can send it to them by Dojo. A lot of them are in our Dojo classroom, so you can send it to them directly. Or some teachers also have their Google Classrooms, like Miss Walker and Mr. Langer has one as well. So if you have any work for the specialists that you want them to be able to check or see or know that you're doing your work, definitely shoot your work over to them so that way they can see it and check it out. And they're going to be doing the same kind of thing that we are, where you have to send one piece of work in each like kind of week or each day. So you'll be hearing from them a lot too. Okay. So if you have any questions, friends, you know where to find me today in Google Classroom or in Class Dojo. Don't forget to send me your haiku poem that you wrote and the picture that goes along with it. You're doing all of your packet work, but really take your time to make sure that that looks awesome. So that way, when you put it up on our sort of bulletin board that I create, you can be really proud of your work. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Don't forget, Monday is not a new packet day. You're going to have a packet that says Monday. You're going to wait until Tuesday for that one. Monday is our catch-up day, so you're going to go and catch up on anything that you still need to get done from your old packets. Maybe there's something that you need to go back and revisit, or you didn't have your packet in time that you want to go back and pick a day to work on. Maybe there were some of those extra things you didn't get done. That's what we're going to be doing on Monday. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.